And Wednesday, wow, Wednesday, my favorite day of the week because we are hearing the most amazing stories from people about how they're using AO scan technology for themselves, for other people, results that they're getting, and all the other amazing things that Solex has brought to us, technologies, most revolutionary all-in-one solutions in our supplement department. I mean, this is the place to be, and we have the solutions for everything people need right now. So thank you so much for joining us. We have been doing this call for over 2 years. This is our third year, and we're so excited. Every single week, we learn new things. We are inspired and thinking about other ways to use it. And Marianne, my beautiful co host tonight, would you open us up this evening?
Well, yeah, for sure. Thank you, Sheila, for allowing me to be your co-host tonight. We sure appreciate this call that you've organized for over 2 years. We are here to just celebrate all the amazing stories that people are experiencing through the AO scan and their other products that they have. We don't make any disease claims, and we're not prescribing or diagnosing. This is simply we're using information. This is all about energy and information. It's new advanced technology. And so, yeah, and welcome to everybody. Welcome to all of the QLAs, our Solex family, and welcome to all the guests. Thanks for coming.
Yeah. So if you're watching this call as a replay tonight or you're here tonight as a guest, please make sure you get back with the person that introduced you to Solex for your questions, ask for a complimentary demonstration scan, and they will take good care of you. So we would love to hear from you. Share some of your stories from the week. Just raise your hand or unmute yourself.
Oh, I see Linda. Oh, Linda, do you want to unmute yourself and tell us what you have, your story? What's happening? Do you need help with the
There.
unmuting? Oh, there you go.
So I have the rain, and I've been using it. My daughter used it last week. She got a cold, and one day she lost her voice, and everybody at work was, she worked remotely, and then she came over here every day for 45 minutes, and the next day after she lost her voice, she went back, and she had her voice, and they're like, how did that happen so quickly? So even though it kind of took a little bit, she wasn't like 100% better the next day. Like every day was a little better. And so it's just exciting with that. And then today I've kind of been under the weather. I have a start of like a UTI, and I did some baking soda water, and then I've been running scans, and I sat under the rain, and I've been feeling much better.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if the rain helps that, but I think it does. I sat under it twice today instead of just the once.
That's amazing. So, for those of you that might not know what the rain is an incredible technology. It is negative ions. So, you might have heard some people that get a cancer diagnosis, their practitioner might tell them to move to the ocean or to the mountains. Why? Because those areas are the highest in negative ions, which helps to knock out all the free radicals that cause disease. So, the measurements that we get in some of the highest areas of the ocean where lots of wave activity is 20,000 negative ions. That's really, really high. But our negative ion Solex rain, 900,000 negative ions flooding down on your head through your body, energizing the cells. Your cells are like little batteries, and they are supposed to have a good charge. When you're born, that's a really great charge. But as you age, trauma, malnutrition, dehydration, stress, toxicity, bad relationships. There's so many things that deplete that cellular energy. And as it depletes to pretty low levels, now we start developing tumors and cell death. So the negative ion rain is recharging the cells and bringing that cellular energy back. And the the possibilities you can only imagine. Again, we're not making any claims, but we're telling you science here. We know the science of negative ions and free radicals and disease. That's all it is. So, Linda, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. And my son, even though he doesn't believe it works, he still does it.
Because
now he
his
likes
body-
it. It's just like you'd hate to say, Mom, I believe that it does something, you know. But anyways, I'm so excited. I'm really sad I can't get the foot detox, but just Solux has such great products.
Yes, they do.
So
Yes,
thank
they
you.
do.
Thank you,
Yes.
Linda.
Anyone else have something to share? I'm still thinking about Dr. Keith's story last week about the tooth. I've shared that one a few times this week. What's that, Christina?
Oh, I see Christina. Christina, you have something?
I have a couple, yeah, I have a couple things I can share. So probably the first one is just my personal experience. So I've been working on a project, actually, it's been about a year. I actually started working with a high ticket offer coach last January. And then I put my project on hold in like September because I had some health setbacks and different things. So my goal in January was to really like re-pick up from where I left. And so from a mindset perspective with the mind sync and the inner voice, even just with some of the disadvantaged things that happened, my brother was in hospital in late December. Then he fell off a ladder. He was in hospital again. I had an uncle that was hospitalized. Like so many things happened in the beginning of January. And so I took a breath and I started the mind sync because I've been so busy. I've been doing so much scanning for other people. And I would say since October 10th, been doing inner voice faithfully every day. But it wasn't until, say, first week January that I started layering the mind sync in. And so that's my biggest advice to everyone is you got to start both. And I think psychologically, it's almost like because it's on the bottom of the list, for some reason, it's like, okay, I finally got to it, right? But really, I think the mind sync needs to be really prioritized at the top, inner voice, mind sync together. And as I was talking to Marianne this week or last week, we were laughing about how she likes to drive NASCAR cars. I don't know if anyone knows that. We had a cool story to share about that. But anyways, it kind of gave me the analogy of, look, inner voice is sort of like, it's going to help you get in gear. It's going to give you the balance. And mind sync is like your gas. It's like the accelerator. So that's how I feel like it's been for me this month because I've been able to actually catapult through and get through a lot of challenging things to complete this part of the project that I was working on. And I've been able to like produce a whole training module for what I want to do to help people with the Solux stuff. So, producing like 14 to 15 polished videos that I've, produced and like, all the content creation that goes into that. What I've found is just anytime I have a slowdown, I mind sync and I can get through it. So it's just for everybody who's kind of like soaring past whatever those New Year's resolutions are, like everyone kind of gets caught into that in February. I don't really go there. I think it's the most affordable life coach you could ever have. And people just have to use it. So inner voice, mind sync, it's been a huge thing for me. So that's my big share for this week.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah. And it's been like a 4 to 5 month hold on what I've been trying to do. I've been working in the background a little bit, but it was just that big push that I've been able to get this month. Yeah.
Mind sync is my baby because I'm with you. And I don't know. I guess people do maybe not think about it because it's at the bottom. It's at the bottom because it's one of the newest things. But to me, that, like you said, I love your race car analogy because I told Lauren, I said, Lauren, I understand inner voice is our foundation because we got to have emotions in balance. But what drives emotions? The thoughts you're telling yourself. That's what has to change. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Take captive every thought. Mind sync is foundational and it will change your life. That's amazing. And thank you for sharing what you've knocked out because we were just talking on a leadership call earlier how blocked I am and I can't create all the things I'm supposed to be creating. So I need to get back in to my mind sync.
And don't we all have blocks, Dr. Sheila, no matter what it is, there's different aspects of life where we're blocked, procrastination, whatever, self-worth, all of these things. And I mean, the fact that we have this technology and it is so effective and works, I mean, it's priceless.
Awesome. I've got a story.
Great. Hi, Mary.
Yay!
Hi. Yeah, so a couple of things. I have a hard time focusing and staying on track. So my phone's over here, my computer's over here, and I've got constant like this thing going in my brain. And I had a big presentation that I had to do. I had to get it done. And normally I've got papers all over the floor, and then I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So I thought I can't do that anymore. So I went to the quick links, whatever it said, focus. And so I played the focus music, and I couldn't believe how much I got done. I put probably an hour's worth of work into 15 minutes. I got it like lined out, everything was done. And I couldn't believe myself. I was like, this is the me that I like. So that was amazing. And then I also have a weight loss client, and she was like texting, she would put on a chat that I'm in. She's like, my hot flashes are terrible. So I started texting him like, okay, so, are you drinking enough water? Blah, blah, blah. And so then I said, well, I sent a frequency for hot flash, and I was texting her and I said, by the way, I'm going to send you something for hot flash. And she knows she's been scanned and everything. And she said, as soon as even before she read that text, she said, I felt this odd cooling thing come over my body. She said, I just felt cool. She said, I'd been standing outside barefoot. I was so hot. And she said, I couldn't believe it. She goes, and I slept that night, no problem. I even got chilled in my bed. And she said, that was so amazing. She's telling everybody.
Oh my gosh.
So it really did work for her. Yeah. And let's see. Oh, the rain. I got the rain, and yay. And I was able to put it together all by myself. And I love it. I haven't noticed anything. What I did notice the most is that as the more I sit under there, the more positive I get about like even things that are not so great. I'm starting to get positive thoughts about them. And I just get more and more excited as I sit there and positive. Everything just starts to flow. And that's what I like about it so far. It's just amazing. And besides, your head does feel like it's like, it feels like it's coming straight up, right? Your hair feels, but your hair is actually not going up. It feels like your hair is going straight up.
Yeah, it's pretty funny when I get people in the office and they're like, it feels like my hair's up there. And I'm like, nope, it's not, but it's replacing all that drainage. Negative energy just drains our cells. So, negative emotions and hard things, it drains our energy. So we've got to re-energize. And what a blessing that we've got something that can do it so easily.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Thank you, Mary. That's awesome.
Mary.
All right, guys, we've still got about 13 minutes. I know you have tons of things to share, and we would love to hear it.
I'll go.
Great. Hi, Jean.
One of the tools I have is called a Healy. Some of you may be familiar with it, and I have had it for probably about 6 years. And it's like a 2x2 square, and it has the for flowers programs. It's a frequency medicine tool, and we receive things through our right side. So I have normally put that little square in my hand and just cupped it in there and ran the programs, and would run the programs for as long as I had time to run them. And I started noticing on my ring finger of my right hand, I started noticing a little V shaping at the pad area of fingers. And I asked my PT about it last week, and she said, you're trying to get a trigger finger, which, if you don't know what a trigger finger is, the finger gets drawn down to the palm and you can't lift it back up. So what we've been doing is I've been using castor oil on it and the 660. And I can tell you that the V isn't nearly as pronounced even after it would be a week tomorrow when I started doing that. And it's majorly changing. So and of course, with it being, I'm strapping it to the 660 to the palm of my hand. That strap is large enough that's easy to do, and I believe that's still getting all its energies into my bloodstream just as if it was on the wrist.
Yeah.
You may have something to say about that, Sheila. But I wanted to share that, don't restrict it. Let it do its thing.
Yeah, you're right, Jean. That 660 band, the reason they made it in a band to wear on your wrist, well, the original intention was, during the whole COVID nightmare and the things that were happening in the blood, and we needed a solution for that. And so that's so easy. Plus, you've got meridians that run on both different sides. You can affect some meridians on this side and some on this side, but you can use that 660 band anywhere on your body. Some people get a headache, they put it right here or the back of their neck. With thyroid, anybody that has thyroid issues, I have them just put it right here on their neck. I have to put it on my ankle because I have an old injury and sometimes it gets cranky, and I just put that band right there on my ankle. You can use it anywhere.
And I need to make sure people understand the Healy is a wonderful tool. It's not causing the problem. It's how much I've got my hand tensed, I think, as I hold on to that Healy, let alone using the computer mouse and all the things that we grab with our hands. It's just, and possibly 73 years of life that the tendons and everything's just aging out a little bit, but the 660, I think, is going to take care of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. For those of you who might be here that don't know what that is or watching the replay, we have 660 red light therapy with 305 amber. Never been done. It's a powerful combination, and we get crazy results with this amazing tool. My grandkids can use it when they've got an earache or something like that. It's fabulous. Thank you,
It's
Jean.
also fantastic for skin rejuvenation. I know a lot of women who are using it, just holding it on their face and moving it around their neck and amazing results for skin. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And tons of science on red light therapy. So again, it's science. We're not making any claims. All right. We've still got 9 minutes. We want to hear some more stories.
I have a big one. I just have to jump in. I'm sorry, you guys. I'll do it real quick. One of my clients tore a ligament. It was a groin tear, and then also up the back of her leg, her knee, back of her knee up into her hip. And this accident happened a couple months ago, and she's just been in brutal pain. And so the doctor said it's already started to kind of heal. And so, we didn't want to operate or anything. Anyways, it was a tendon. That's what it was. Sorry. Anyways, when she would get up to stand, she would have to hold herself and then have to stand for a couple of minutes before she could start to walk. So I started working on her with scans this last week, and guess what? And the pain was unreal. So she couldn't hardly sleep. She'd had to constantly change position, pillows, all that stuff. Anyways, pain's down, mobility is up, and she is blown away. And that's in a week, you guys. A week.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
I have one.
Hi, Lori.
Hi. Yes, actually, Shalou knows this woman quite well, and it's a friend and who has MS. And she saw me wearing it one day and was asking me about it. And I just took it off my wrist and I said, well, here, use it and let me know what you think. And if you decide it's good, anyways, long story short, she called me the next day and said that she really liked it. And what she said was that it gave her great comfort. And I thought it was an interesting way that she put it. She said, I can't explain it, but she said, it just makes me feel overall better. And she said, heat that comes off of it. And she said, it just makes me feel really good. And she said, I can tell that it's helping me. I can't tell you the specifics. I just know certain things are happening and I feel better. And she was so grateful and loves it. And yeah, it's really, and I'll keep you posted because I'm sure she's going to continue to keep me posted.
Yeah, please do. That is such a blessing. What a blessing to be able to make that kind of an impact on people. I mean, seriously, we are so blessed to have such powerful resources to share with people. Thank you, Lori.
Pleasure.
This makes me so happy.
Oh,
Cynthia
Karen's
Eddings.
got her hand up, I see. Karen, can you unmute yourself or? Let's see, I can unmute you.
Hello.
Hi, Cynthia.
There you go. Hi, Karen. Okay, I think we can hear you now.
Okay, awesome. I have two. I'm a marriage and family therapist, and sometimes I will use the AO scan on my clients. More than normally, it is the inner voice, and I normally have different Cephis running for whatever room because I have the picture of whatever room that I'm in, and I run it even before it's come in. But I had a new client, and it was a teenager. And this person was dealing with like suicidal ideations, but just was really just down and just feeling really hopeless during that session. And while we were talking, it was more crying and sadness, crying and sadness. And I just took out my lens. I was like, hey, we just on. So I started explaining, and I said, this is something that I normally, occasionally use for my clients. And I said, this one isn't going to cause anything additional. I just want to just see how you feel. And I just looked at the lenses. One was already on it. And I said, hey, read what this one promotes. And then she read it. Well, I had her read it after. So she put just the glasses while I was preparing and setting up her profile to do the AO scan in her voice. And she had not smiled. It was a lot of like crying at all. And once she put the glasses on, like in my brain, I thought about the Grinch and how he was always just frowning. But once she wore those glasses, it was almost instantly had the biggest smile on her face. And I hadn't seen that. And I was like, oh, wow. And I was like, so what's going on? And she was like, I don't know. I feel lighter. And she started laughing and smiling and she opened up more. And once I ran the scan, then I said, we're just going to sit here. I said, let us sit in it. And I let her we went through and showed the 4 sections and what those things mean. And I just let her listen to her scan and she was just opening up. So I'm like, while we're talking, and it was not happening that way in the beginning. She was just feeling so just bogged down. But once she put those lenses on, everything shifted for her. And that just made my heart smile.
Doesn't it? Oh my gosh, that makes my heart smile. That's amazing. I don't think
Yes,
people understand the power of color. Our light wave colored glasses are amazing. If you don't have them, I would encourage you to use your next 30% off coupon to get those. The color therapy's been around for hundreds of years and it's powerful. Thank you so much, Cynthia.
You're welcome. And I just wanted to share just one other one. And I was having a really hard week this week that I feel like some people probably would have taken them out. I have tools, of course, to get through, but it was like, wow, this was something that hit really heavy. But instead of just like going in, I just started listening because I got that because I always get off on my scans, but I'm running scans for everyone else. But then I was like, you have the tools in your hands. So I started running my own scan. And when I tell you I was hit with so much peace, and I'm just like, it was nothing, like it was like a bump in the road or a pebble compared to what it could have been. But I was just like, wow, I'm so grateful that I have this. So I always want to make sure I keep that scanner.
Yeah. I can't even imagine one day without this capability because I'm with you. I was having a rough day a couple weeks ago and I just did not. I felt so off balance and I rarely think to stop and take care of myself because I'm trying to solve everybody else's problems. And God said, run your inner voice. And by golly, within minutes, I felt like I was getting back balanced out and back on track. So we are so empowered. Thank you for that. Karen, I think you had something to share as well. If you can unmute. There you go.
Oh, just a moment. I can't. Can you hear her?
Mm-mm.
No,
May not
I
have
don't
the
know.
audio settings. I know sometimes that's tricky.
Oh, darn. We're just not hearing you, Karen.
Well, Karen, please come back next week and we will try to help you with your audio settings because we want to hear what you're going to tell us. And it is time to hop on the Solex weekly update call, another favorite part of my week. Karen, please make sure you come back. We want to hear what you have to say. Sorry that we couldn't get the audio tonight, but we will make sure we get it figured out next week. And I just want to thank all of you for taking time out of your night to be here, sharing your stories, listening to people's stories. We are so grateful for you sharing your experiences and the ways that you're using the scanner and the other Solex products. And I just love you all so much. And I love that you're helping other people and being that ripple because the world needs what we have. We have exactly what they need. We have the solutions to all of their pain points in some form or another. So thank you so much. Marianne, do you have anything to close us out?
I just love what you just said, Sheila. Pay it forward, and yeah, everybody hop on Solex weekly update call. It's on YouTube under Solex LLC, and let's hear. There's some exciting information they're going to be sharing with us. So thank you, everyone, for attending. Thank you, Dr. Sheila, for all that you do. We love you. We love you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Love
Thank
you all.
you.
Good night.
Thank you.